Hello and good afternoon, and welcome once again to Better Than Before, live on Facebook. Here I am, Dave Edelstein, going live online once again to talk about all things related to communication, mindfulness, getting along with others, being a nice person, and just in general, the things that make life spin round. And sometimes people say to me, Dave, why do you do this? What makes you think that you have anything to say? Hi, Mike. What makes you think, Dave, that you have anything to say that's of any interest to anybody? Why should you be online, live, talking about the stuff you talk about? And the answer is that really it's a question of experience. I'm older than a lot. I've been around a lot. Hi, Mike. I've been around a long time. I recently turned 60. I know that to many of you I look like it's a lot more. These haven't been 60 real easy years. They've been a little bit wearing. But I've tried, in essence, to follow my heart. I've tried during these 60 years to do things that would be of interest to me and perhaps of service to others in a spirit of, well, let's look and find out. A lot of the stuff hasn't worked out all that well. I've had a lot of false starts. I've done a lot of things wrong. As I've mentioned before, I've been married and divorced. I launched into marriage thinking that I would just make it work. It didn't work out that way. That was a big learning experience. I've had a number of different careers. I've done factory work. I've cleaned floors. I've painted houses. And I've also worked as a scientist for the EPA and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. It's a big range. My real niche, I'd say, in a lot of ways, is teaching, which is what brings me here. I'm not here to teach you, really. These videos are not instructional. These are meant to be coaching videos, ways of adding to your perspective or giving you a new look at what's going on in your life, giving you a new angle on what might be going on in your life so that you have a chance to sort things out for yourself. Hi, Gary. These things, these coaching things are new in my life, really. And I really like the coaching model where you have the power to make changes for yourself, that you don't need a degree to make changes for yourself. You are the expert on yourself. You've lived it. I've lived it. I am the expert on myself. I'm not the expert on yourself. And again, this is the great thing about the coaching model. I don't have to be an expert on yourself or an expert on psychological functioning to give you some perspective and to help you get on track, to help you find your way for yourself. This strikes me as a better model in a lot of ways. Yes, I've done psychotherapy, and heaven knows I've needed it, and I've benefited from it. But in many ways, I think the coaching model is more powerful because it's so much simpler. What do you want? What do you want your life to look like? What do you want to be? What do you want to be as a human being? Never mind how much money you want to make or what kind of car you want to drive. What you want your daily job to look like or who you want to work for. What do you want to be? And you have total control over that. Being that person may not make you wealthy. Being that person may not make you famous. But being the person that you want to be will make you you. And strengthen your contribution to the human race in that way. Only you can make your own contribution. Too many people settle for just working and making money. Taking care of your family is a good contribution. And we have to work and make money to do that. I did that. I've done that. I still try to do that. For many years, I was a teacher, not because I was passionate about filling young people's heads with biology. I like biology, but I don't know that it's really for everyone. But I was passionate about helping them learn things, having the learning experience, looking for new information, understanding how that new information could affect their view of the world. Hola, Bolívar. Gracias por venir. Doing the teaching thing gave me contact with people, put me in a role with people, allowed me to be helpful to them, to help them to grow, help them to learn. These are positive things to do in life at any age. Life is so much more than what you do. What's my expertise? I've just tried to be. I've gone places, I've done things just because it seemed interesting. It seemed like an opportunity to make a contribution. It seemed like a chance to participate in life at some more creative level. I come to you after having spent too much of the afternoon trying to transcribe a Wes Montgomery guitar solo under my own fingers. This isn't easy for me. As I've said, I'm a very devoted guitar player, not the best. Why do I do it? It's an exploration of someone else's mind. I'll never have a chance to have a conversation with Wes Montgomery. He's long gone, unfortunately. Wonderful, wonderful musician. But by learning something about his reaction to Autumn Leaves, I learned something about him. I learned something about things that he could hear that I cannot necessarily hear. It takes me a long time to do this. It might take me an hour to get 10 or 20 seconds of music. And of course, all of this is in the service of finding my own way of expressing myself. Hi, Matt. But I do it so I can learn more about different ways that the human mind and the human spirit operate. So my expertise is not that I have degrees and degrees in psychology, or that I'm a psychiatrist, or that I'm this or that. My expertise is that I've lived it. I've known dark days. I've known depression. I've known divorce. I've known working for minimum wage. I've known cleaning toilets. And I've known working with farmers in Costa Rica and Ecuador. I've known teaching children how to speak English or Spanish. Giving new opportunities to communicate in a foreign language with foreign people who think differently from oneself. I've lived in the Galapagos Islands, helped people grow their own food and vegetable gardens on the Galapagos Islands. I've tried to live it. I haven't always been successful. Sometimes it's been difficult. But if you need to talk to someone who's been where you are and has done what he can to live his life, no matter where I was at that particular point in my life, well, let's have a conversation. The video screen is very one-way, unfortunately. So let's talk it out. Message me. We can talk on Facebook. We can talk on Zoom. We can talk on Skype. It's what I'm here for. It's why I got into this, is to talk to you about what you're going through. Because there's a reasonable chance that I've also gone through it. So get in touch. Let's have some conversation. Always glad to hear from you. Always glad to see you in these afternoon video sessions. And I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. If you like this, spread it around. Like it, share it, do whatever you need to do to it to make it happen. Thanks a lot. Have a good afternoon and evening, or whatever time of the night you're into at this point.